Good morning. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. You probably can hear me. Good morning, or afternoon, evening, wherever you might be right now. Because we all know it's all relative. That's part of the problem, ain't it? Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Or, in case of this lovely lady here, I think it's your afternoon, isn't it? Our Teutonic warrior, goddess Valkyrie person. Hi, Miriam. How you doing? How am I doing? Well, doing better once I get there. Okay, yeah, sure. My computer's kind of lagging. I don't know. Speaking of I don't know, I've got a question for you. As we all know, if you haven't been living under a rock, Ozzy Osbourne died yesterday. And you know how I am. If you've been watching what I've been doing here, what I always say, music with me begins and ends with four lads from Birmingham: Tony, Geezer, Bill, and Ozzy. So, here's a trick question for you. What's the first song on the second side? Now we're going back here. I'm talking albums, cassettes, era. What's the first song on the second side of Ozzy's first album? Get back to me. It's a trick question. So yeah, I'm in my feels a little bit. I know we all have our heroes, and Black Sabbath and Ozzy were one of mine. You know, there's I was listening to Black Sabbath at 5 years old. Of course, Iron Man used to scare me until I actually understood it when I became a teenager. That's when I really, someone like him would was, grab a place in your heart. You know, I remember as a teenager, when's the next Ozzy Osbourne album going to come out? And when uh, and when like when well, I really wasn't listening to him when Randy Rhoads was his guitar player, but who was this guitar player going to be? Because Jakey Lee was awesome freaking guitar player, and he got fired because of whatever in politics, and then who's going to be his next one? And when Zakk Wylde came out, it was a teenage thing. You had to be there, especially out here, because I grew up listening to his stuff. I grew up listening to 60s and 70s rock and roll. So that's what we do here. And I was trying to make something to play, but I just couldn't. So I just went ahead and I'm just going to do the regular show. But good morning, good evening, good afternoon. We got an afternoon here. How's it going, Milky? Millie? Oh, and Irish. How you doing, Irish? Well, is Irish here? And it's here. How's it going, House? Yeah. Go ahead. I don't know. The answer is I don't know, because that's the name of the song. I had that pulled on me one time. That's stuck in there. Yeah, well, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and get with the show then. Enough of this stuff, because please like and subscribe, because we're still stuck at 450. There's no rhyme, no reason to it, even though that's what we deal with, rhyme. Not too much reason, though. So, yeah. Malcolm Jamal Warner dies by drowning. Ozzy Osbourne dies because he partied too much. Nah, he was pretty bad. He had to Parkinson's disease and all that. Oh, so what is we having? All right. Oh, Lord. Okay. Here. Share screen. Share the window. Here we go. All right. We are starting off. We are starting off with My Fairy. You might like this one, Hal, since you're into that. The faithful Lewis Carroll. And another Judith Wright, Five Senses. Now, I just went ahead and go, I kind of made this, picked these out by just no rhyme, no reason. James Henry Leigh Hunt, May and the Poets. And then another Lord Byron, All Is Vanity. And then not a sonnet by William Shakespeare, dear friend, and rounding everything out, A Ballad of Dreamland, a new one, Algernon. I had picked him just because of his name, Algernon Charles Swinburne. Algernon. You got to respect a guy with a name like Algernon, or feel sorry for him because he had parents who had named him Algernon. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing that part there. No, I really haven't followed Ozzy in a while. You know, I knew he did his last concert. That one thing was July 5th, and dude, he was sitting in that chair, that throne, and I don't want to think about it at the moment. So let's just go ahead and let me back to the beginning. Yep, back to the beginning. Here we go. All right, very first version of My Fairy by Lewis Carroll.
I have a fairy by my side, which says I must not sleep. When once in pain I loudly cried, it said, you must not weep. If full of mirth I smile and grin, it says you must not laugh. When once I wished to drink some gin, it said you must not quaff. When once a meal I wished to taste, it said you must not bite. When to the wars I went in haste, it said you must not fight. What may I do? At length I cried, tired of the painful task. The fairy quietly replied and said, you must not.
Well, that one was short and sweet and to the point. All right, if you click on that link here, one of the things I like about all poetry, the website, is that they do their little analysis, and this is all about the repetitive structure. Okay, it's about frustration and confinement. Yes, very beautiful, very short. I forgot some of these. I think we got a couple 4-minuters. 3, I think. Well, let's just go ahead and play the next one. All right.
I have a fairy by my side,
Wait one freaking minute here.
which says
That doesn't sound right. Great.
I must not sleep. When once in pain I loudly cried, it said, you must not weep. If full of mirth I smile and grin, it says, you must not laugh. When once I wished to drink some gin, it said, you must not quaff. When once a meal I wished to taste, it said, you must not bite. When to the wars I went in haste, it said, you must not fight. What may I do? At length I cried, tired of the painful task. The fairy quietly replied and said, you must not ask. You must
Yeah, I agree, but you see how similar those two were to each other? Yeah, I mean, oh, that was a lovely face I made there. Yeah, you see how similar those two were to each other? You can see my confusion. It's too early in the morning, and I haven't had enough coffee yet. Hey, Sophia. Always lovely for you to drop by. How you doing? How's the North Sea doing? Next time you see her, tell her I said hi. All right. Bad jokes aside. All right, we're going to do another Judith Wright. 5 senses. 3 in 1.
Now my 5 senses gather into meaning, all acts, all presence. And as a lily gathers the elements together in me this dark and shining, let stillness and that moving, these shapes that spring from nothing, become a rhythm that dances a pure dance. sign. While I'm in my five senses, they send me spinning. All sounds and silences, all shape and color is thread for that weaver whose web within me grows, follows beyond my knowing. Some pattern sprung from nothing, a rhythm that dances and is not mine. While I'm in my five senses, they send me spinning. All sounds and silences, all shape and color is thread for that weaver whose web within me grows, follows beyond my knowing. Some pattern sprung from nothing, a rhythm that dances and is not mine. Is not mine.
Interesting. Seems like we have a very low-key show today. So far, you know, I don't know what we're getting yet until you guys hear it. And this is our first 4-minuter. Yes. Until we get to the last two. I don't know whether I'm going to be scared or not. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
Now my five senses gather into a meaning, all acts, all presence, and as a lily gathers the elements together, in me this dark and shining, that stillness and that moving, these shapes that spring from nothing become a rhythm that dances, a pure design. While I'm in my five senses, they send me spinning. All sounds and silences, all shape and color, as thread for that weaver whose web within me growing follows beyond my knowing. Some pattern sprung from nothing, a rhythm that dances and is not my five senses, they send me spinning. All sounds and silences, all shape and color, as thread for that weaver whose web within some pattern sprung from nothing, a rhythm that dances and is not mine. Ooh, is not mine. While I'm in my five senses, they send me spinning. All sounds and silences, all shape and color, as thread for that weaver whose web within me growing follows beyond my knowing, some pattern sprung from nothing.
All right, there. Sort of an ex-girlfriend this morning, huh? I'm glad y'all like that one. I was dealing with dogs. How's it going, Kathy? Good morning. It's kind of a melancholy morning. And the show's kind of reflecting that, I guess. I don't know. If there is that collective unconscious that we, those vibrations, that energy level that we all share. All right. James Henry Leigh Hunt again. May and the Poets.
There is May in books forever. May will part from Spencer never. May's in Milton, May's in Pryor, May's in Chaucer, Thomson, Dyer. May's in all the Italian books. She has old and modern nooks where she sleeps with nymphs and elves in happy places they call shells. Come rather, thou good weather, and find us in the fields together. There is May in books forever. May will part from Spencer never. May's in Milton, May's in Pryor, May's in Chaucer, drapery thick with blooms. Come, you rays, then if you will, maze at home and with me still.
That was interesting. I don't know if that music fit that. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes it does feel like there's an optimistic chance of an impending doom, especially with what's going on in the body politic of various and sundry countries around the world, including this one. Yeah, just today. Good morning, Tiff. How's it going? What do y'all think of that one? Maybe I don't know. Before I decide if I'm going to redo that one, let's just go ahead and listen to the second one. Yeah, shall we? May in the post. This one's shorter. This one's like 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
There is May in books forever. May will part from Spencer never. May's in Milton, May's in Pryor, May's in Chaucer, Thomson, Dyer, May's in all the Italian books. She has old and modern nooks where she sleeps with nymphs and elves in happy places they call shelves, and will rise and dress your rooms with a drapery thick with blooms. Come, ye rains, then if you will, maze at home and with me still. But come rather, thou good weather, and find us in the fields together. But come rather, thou good weather, and find us in the fields together.
Yeah, number 2 for me. I'll tell you why. That riff, whistle, whatever, great. The cadence kind of fit it better. It ended better. Country. Think about it. Country. Definitely. At one point, I wanted to be a librarian or live in a library. As you can see, I got my own personal one. It's really not big enough, even though I don't think that, I'll ever end up reading all of these. Sending good vibes. Cancer's no joke. Oddly enough, me too, in the past couple of years. I think the last book I read cover to cover was Liz Gale's memoir. You know, that was the only thing Pandora was able to get back in the box was hope. It's there. Sometimes that's the only thing that's kept me going. It can also be a killer. No need to think us. You're part of the family. You know that. All right. What an interesting first part of the show. Very sedate. I'm gonna put that. Very chill almost. You like what you hear? Please like and subscribe. But more importantly, everything we do here is under fair use and in the public domain. Just got to get that housekeeping out and stuff, you know. But yes, sending you all the magical, robust, positive vibes you can stand. And then some. All right. I wonder what our Lord Byron has in store for us.
Fame, wisdom, love, and power were mine, and health and youth possessed me. My goblets blushed from every vine, and lovely forms caressed me. I sunned my heart in beauty's eyes, and felt my soul grow tender. All earth can give, or mortal prize, was mine of regal splendor. I strive to number o'er what days remembrance can discover, which all that life or earth displays would lure me to live over. There rose no day, there rolled no hour of pleasure unembittered, and not a trapping decked my power that galled not while it glittered. The serpent of the field by art and spells is one from harming, but that which coils around the heart, oh, who hath purer of charming? It will not list to wisdom's lore, nor music's voice can lure it, but there it stings forevermore, the soul that must endure it. The serpent of the field by art and spells is one from harming, but that which coils around the heart, oh, who hath purer of charming? It will not list to wisdom's lore, nor music's voice can lure it, but there it stings forevermore, the soul that must endure it.
That one was pretty cool. I think the word for today might be melancholy. You know what I mean? Not like a malaise or anything like that, but just melancholy. Because it's like pressure has been in certain aspects of life, and I'm talking existential here, has just been building and building and building, and then you get to that optimistic sense of impending doom. Good morning, Jennifer. Yes, that one was nice. All right, let's see what number 2 has in store for us. All is vanity.
Fame, wisdom, love, and power were mine, and health and youth possessed me. My goblets blushed from every vine, and lovely forms caressed me. I sunned my heart in beauty's eyes, and felt my soul grow tender. All earth can give or mortal prize was mine of regal splendor. I strive to number o'er what days remembrance can discover, which all that life or earth displays would lure me to live over. There rose no day, there rolled no hour of pleasure unembittered, and not a trapping decked my power that galled not while it glittered. The serpent of the field by art and spells is one from harming, but that which coils around the heart, oh, who hath where of charming? It will not list to wisdom's lore, nor music's voice can lure it, but there it stings forevermore, the soul that must endure it.
Yeah, definite consensus. Number 1. And I didn't even have any ideas of how to, what kind of genres might make it work. Cool. So what do you guys got in store for today? Me, I have an appointment at 11, so in about 4 hours. In about, under 4 hours for wrist braces. And I think inserts for my shoes. And then I'm taking my buddy to the VA clinic and stuff. All right. So our next one is, we're going to Shakes himself. Shakes a spear. Shakespeare. Here. Dear friend, dear friend,
Went to the session of sweet silent thought. I summon up remembrance of things past. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances forgone, and heavily from woe to woe to woe tell her the sad account of former moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. Then can I grieve at grievances forgone, and heavily from woe to woe tell, Lord, the sad account of former moan and moan, which I knew pay as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end, then can I grieve at grievances forgone, and heavily from woe to woe tell her.
work and then finish painting your bedroom. I think you got the best plans of all, going to the cottage. More work. Safety taped up. Well, I'm glad you're able to spend some of your work day with Otis. Now that's actually not a bad shift to have. I know I'm an early bird morning person, not morning person, but I'm up early anyways. Just and getting off at 3 p.m. wouldn't be that bad. You still got some time to do stuff if you need to, like go to the DMV. Because there's that hour there. Even cutting it by 30 minutes can really screw up the rest of your evening. You know what I mean? But yeah. Of course, my job is I'm a student and I'm kind of in a pause with that. So I'm doing this. My job right now is a somewhat poet and amateur, extremely amateur YouTuber wanting to be a professional. Oh boy, it's too early in the morning and I've definitely been up too long. All right, let's see what number 2 version of that.
Went to the session of sweet silent thought. I summon up remembrance of things past. I sigh the lack of many a thing I sought, and with old woes new wail my dear time's waste. Then can I drown an eye unused to flow for precious friends hid in death's dateless night, and weep afresh love's long since cancelled woe, and moan the expense of many a vanished sight. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell her the sad account of forebemoan moan, which I knew paid as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end. Then can I grieve at grievances foregone, and heavily from woe to woe tell her the sad account of forebemoan moan, which I knew paid as if not paid before. But if the while I think on thee, dear friend, all losses are restored and sorrows end.
Grow up? But I think the consensus is we're not. Either we were emotionally stunted by whatever or whatever. A lot of us are Gen Xers here. Yeah. Who knows? Best to just be young at heart. Actually, I did want to be a teacher at one point early in my life. You know, if I would have done things differently in my 20s, I probably would have ended up being one. Yeah, once is enough. Still bad enough. But, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yeah. I was wanting to be a teacher at one point. And, you know, like I said, things would have happened differently in my 20s. When it came to college, I probably would have been a teacher for at least a little while, you know. And then when I got out of the Navy, one of the jobs I got when I got out of the Navy was driving school bus for Northside School District in San Antonio, Texas. And oh my Lord, middle schoolers are the worst, i.e., when you're going through fucking puberty. However, Not necessarily. Remember, I live off disability. I'm going to school to figure out what the fuck I want to do with myself. No, let me rephrase that. I'm going to school because there's a huge pot. One of the reasons I'm going to school is because there's a huge pot of money that I earned while I was in the Navy, the GI Bill. I would really love, for this to be a job for me, Plus, I draw disability from when I was in the Navy. Now, I'm going for my master's because I want to get it. And one of the things I could do with it is teach for the Department of Defense. That's the caveat, because they offer classes for sailors while they're on deployment. They did that a couple times. Well, this one guy on one of my deployments came on board. He taught 2 classes. He was there for a couple months, and he got to have fun in the places that we went. I.e., he didn't have to have a freaking Liberty buddy, especially if it was a friendly port. So that's what I would like to do. Let's Joe. Oh, hey, Joe Bananas. And have a good day at work. Hopefully, the drama, I was going to actually address this here. The workplace drama ain't too much for you, my friend. And see you tomorrow. Yes, have a lovely rest of your day. So, yeah, that's the plan. But plans are subject to change, and given the condition of the body politic in this country, I don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up. Like I said, if I could make this right here a going concern, that would be great, but I need you all's guys' help with that. I don't know what else to do. As far as we're stuck at 450 subscribers, and I'm losing watch hours. I don't have people on the replay. You guys are the only people that watch me. So I don't know if it's me, if it's YouTube, or whatever. But I know we do cool stuff here. And, this is one of the better parts of my day a lot of the times. Even though it can be frustrating to think about all the effort, I don't want to say work, but effort I've been putting in to do this. And, it's very rarely that you get an idea that, is unique. I just wish the rest of the world could see it. And I don't know how to get it out to them. All right, our last one here, A Ballad of Dreamland. I don't want to lean too much into the melancholia because sometimes it's really easy to do. Algernon. Oh, Algernon.
I hid my heart in a nest of roses, out of the sun's way, hidden apart, in a softer bed than the soft white snows is. Under the roses I hid my heart. Why would it sleep not? Why should it start whenever a leaf of the rose tree stirred? What made sleep flutter his wings and part? Only the song of a secret bird. Lie still, I said, for the wind's wing closes, and mild leaves muffle the keen sun's dart. Lie still, for the wind on the warm seas dozes, and the wind is unquitter yet than thou art. Does a thought in thee, still as a thorn's will smart? Does the fang still fret thee of hope deferred? What bids the lips of thy sleep despite? Only the song of a secret bird. The Greenland's name that a charm and closes never was writ in the traveler's chart. And sweet on its trees as the fruit that grows it never was sold in the merchant's mart. The swallows of dreams through its dim fields dart, and sleeps all the tunes in its treetops heard. No hound's note awakens the wildwood heart, only the song of a secret bird. In the world of dreams, I have chosen my part, to sleep for a season and hear no word of true love's truth, or of light love's art. Only the song of a secret bird.
Okay. All right. Very important question here. What do I need? Obviously, what I need is more patience. That's the operative word. And oh no, not that one here. I'll get back to that one. Yes, luck and happy accidents. I get frustrated too, because I know y'all I appreciate y'all doing the different devices and everything. Who knows? I'm just venting because it's one of those days. Oh yeah, my glass is half empty until it's proven to be half full. That's just my flaw. Who knows? All right, let's play this last one, and then oh no, I'll play us out with one. I got angsty dogs here, and it's already too warm, already too freaking warm for the freaking youth. All right, here we go.
I hid my heart in a nest of roses, out of the sun's way, hidden apart, in a softer bed than the soft white snows is. Under the roses I hid my heart. Why would it sleep not? Why should it start when never a leaf of the rose tree stirred? What made sleep flutter his wings wings and part. Only the song of a secret bird. Lie still, I said, for the wind's wing closes, and mild leaves muffle the keen sun's dart. Lie still, for the wind on the warm seas dozes, and the wind is unquieter yet than thou art. Does a thought in thee still as a thorn's wound smart? Does the fang still fret thee of hope deferred? What bids the lips of thy sleep disperse? Only the song of a secret bird. The green land's name that a charm encloses, it never was writ in the traveler's chart. And sweet on its trees as the fruit that glows is, it never was sold in the merchant's mart. The swallows of dreams through its dim fields dart, and sleeps are the tunes in its treetops heard. No house, no sleigh against the wildwood heart. Only the song of the sea.
Yeah, I was actually kind of getting into that one there. So, semi ex-girlfriend? Oh no. Bounce well. So many jokes. But we're in polite company here. Yes, I am a work in progress, a working mess in progress, and not a hot one either. Just a mess. All right, let's play something here. I know I played it the other day, but it's just awesome, and I want to hear it again, and I'm pretty sure you guys won't mind. Here we go, here. And I'm going to go check on my dog.
All thoughts, all passions, all delights, whatever stirs this mortal frame, all are but ministers of love and feed his sacred flame. Oft in my waking dreams do I live o'er again that happy hour, when midway on the mount I lay beside the ruined tower. The moonshine stealing o'er the scene had blended with the lights of eve, and she was there, my hope, my joy, my own dear Genevieve.
She leant against the armored rounded statue of the armed-out knight. She stood and listened to my lay amid the lingering light. Few sorrows hath she of her own, my hope, my joy, my Genevieve. She loves me best whene'er I sing the songs that make her grieve.
I played a soft and doleful air, I sang an old and moving story, an old rude song that suited well that ruin wild and hoary.
with a flitting blush, with downcast eyes and modest grace. For well she knew I could not choose but gaze upon her face.
I told her of the knight that wore upon his shield a burning brand, and that for 10 long years he wooed the lady of the land.
I told her how he pined, and the deep, the low, the pleading tone
With which I sang another's love, interpreted my own.
She listened with a flitting blush, with downcast eyes and modest grace.
And she forgave me that I gazed too fondly on her face.
But when I told the cruel scorn that crazed that bold and lovely knight, and that he crossed the mountain woods, nor rested day nor night,
that sometimes from the savage din, and sometimes from the darksome shade, and sometimes starting up at once in green and sunny glade, there came and looked him in the face an angel beautiful and bright, and that he knew it was a fiend, this miserable night, and that unknowing what he did, he leaped amid a murderous band, saved from outrage worse than death the lady of the land. And how she wept and clasped his knees, and how she tended him in vain, and ever strove to expiate the scorn that crazed his brain, and that she nursed him in a cave, and how his madness went away when on the yellow forest leaves a dying man he lay. His dying words, but when I reached that tenderest strain of all the ditty, my faltering voice and pausing harp disturb her soul with pity. All impulses of soul and sense that thrilled my guileless Genevieve, the music and the doleful tale, the rich and balmy, and hopes and fears that kindle hope, an undistinguishable throng, in gentle wishes long subdued, subdued and cherished long. She wept with pity and delight, she blushed with love and virgin shame, and like the murmur of a dream, I heard her breathe my name. Her bosom heaved, she stepped aside, as conscious of my look she stepped. Then suddenly with timorous eye she fled to me and wept. She half enclosed me with her arms, she pressed me with a meek embrace, and bending back her head looked up and gazed upon my face. 'Twas partly love and partly fear, and partly 'twas a bashful art, that I might rather feel than see the swelling of her heart. I calmed her fears and she was calm, and told her love with virgin pride, and so I won my Genevieve, my bright and beauteous bride.
Dusky groves were chilly all day long,
nuthatch and the cardinal. The trim drab catbird trolls its fitful song. I hear the mellow golden pawpaws fall. What luscious fruit scorned as of little worth by those who long for guavas of the south, figs and bananas pining that the north is barren of the luxuries of the earth. Fruit that I sought in childhood with a mouth eager to taste thy wild delicious juice. What orange grown in groves of Italy, or what pomegranate ripened in the dews of Grecian and Isles would I not now refuse for the rare flavored racy pulp of thee.
Well, maybe you should be under the influence and you'll not walk straight. Bounces out. No. Oh, bad joke. Well, I'm glad you like these. This is the fake bluegrass band. Like the first one, that first one I played, Love by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Back before Suno started, this was earlier, I tried to split it up and make something and it didn't work. But one section of it had this really cool riff and a really cool, cadence and melody and stuff. And I used that to make what you guys heard. So it's just freaking phenomenal. Why do you think I want to share this with the world? Because it's just freaking cool as shit. Well, not cool as shit, but it's cool. Oh. Swally. I assume that swally means being drunk off your ass. All right, let's play some more. Let's see here. Here.
Heaven bless the babe, they said. Heaven bless the babe. What queer books she may said, where she must have read. She must have read. Love by whom I was beguiled. Grant I may not bear a child. does she guess today? Little does she today? What the world may be, they say. What the world may be, they say. They say. Snowdrift deep and covered till the spring, my murder lover. Little does she guess today, little does she today, what the world may be, they say. What the world may be, they say. They say. Snowdrift deep and covered till the spring, my murder lover. Snowdrift deep and covered till the spring, my murder lover.
Well, you know, I do have my wine, my box of wine up there, you know, grapes. They just preserved. Yeah, I agree. Mostly 420 for me too. I do like a good drink every once in a while, usually with food. Like the wine, I like go get a cheeseburger and I'll have a little bit of the wine with my cheeseburger. Yeah, I live a very, very, very exciting life. Here we go.
At the top of the house, the apples are laid in rows, and the skylight lets the moonlight in. Those apples are deep sea apples of green. There goes a cloud on the moon in the autumn night. In the wainscot scratches and scratches, and then there is no sound at the top of the house of men. Or mice, and the cloud is blown, and the moon again dapples the apples with deep sea light. tales of wonder.
I think they're lovely. So satisfying.
The robin laughed in the orange tree. Oh, windy north, a fig for thee. While breasts are red and wings are bold, and green trees wave us globes of gold. Time's sighs shall reap but bliss for me.
Sunlight song and the orange tree
Burn golden globes in the leafy sky. My orange planet's crimson eye will shine and shoot among the spheres and thread the heavenly orange tree
with orbits bright of minstrelsy.
If that I hate wild winter spy, the gibbet trees, the world in white, the sky but gray, wind over gray. Why should I ache the season's slay? I'll sing from the top of the orange tree, gramercy, winter's tyranny. South with the sun and keep my climb. My wing is king of the summertime. My breast to the sun his torch shall hold, and I'll call down through the green and gold. Time, take thy scythe, reap bliss for me. Bestir thee under the orange tree.
Yeah, chair dancing. Cool. It's always nice. Delamere banana milkshake. Cool. $20. Yeah. It's easy to do. Very easy to do. I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna play some more. It's the bluegrass portion of the show, I guess. Here. No, this one. A little faster paced.
I sought a thing, I sought for it in vain. I sought it daily for 6 cried with my heart, although winter and summer till old age began. My circus animals were all on show, those stilted boys, that burnished chariot, lion and woman, and the Lord knows what. What can I but enumerate old themes? First, that sea rider always led by the nose through 3 enchanted islands, allegoric war dreams, vain gaiety, vain battle, vain repose, greed of the embittered heart, or so it seems, that might adorn old songs or courtly shows. But what care that set him on to ride? I starred for the bosom of his fairy bride. And then a counter-truth filled out its play. The Countess Kathleen was the name I gave it. She, pity-crazed, had given her soul away, but masterful heaven had intervened to save it. I thought my dear must her own soul destroy, so did fanaticism and hate enslave it. And this brought forth a dream, and soon enough this dream itself had all my thoughts and love. Stole the bread, Cuchulainn fought the ungovernable sea. Heart mysteries there, and yet when all is said, it was the dream itself enchanted me. Character isolated by a deed, to engross the present and dominate memory. Players and painted stage took all my love, and not those things that they were emblems of. Those masterful images, because complete, grew in pure mind, but out of what began a mound of refuse, or the sweepings of a street. Old kettles, old bottles, and a broken can. Old iron, old bones, old rags, and a raving slut. Who keeps the till now that my ladder's gone? I must lie down where all the ladders start, in the foul rag and bone shop of the heart.
Yeah, yeah, these are all for my fake virtual bluegrass band called the Begging Criers, which, they're named after the, I don't know if I played it already. Did I play it already? I don't know if I played it. Named after this song, or this poem.
Beggar cried, being frenzy struck, make my soul before my pate is bare, and get a comfortable wife and house to rid me of the devil in my shoes. Beggar to beggar cried, being frenzy struck, the worst devil that is between my thighs. And though I'd marry with a comely lass, she need not be too comely, let it pass. Beggar to beggar cried, being frenzy struck, but there's a devil in a looking glass. Nor should she be too rich, because the rich are driven by wealth as beggars by the itch. Beggar to beggar cried, being frenzy struck, and cannot have a humorous happy speech. And there I'll grow respected at my ease, and here amid the garden's nightly peace. Beggar to beggar cried, being frenzy struck, the wind-blown clamor of the barnacle geese. clamor of the barnacle geese.
Yes, that is one of my favorites. It seems like, I don't know, got a lot of good bluegrass stuff and other stuff. I just really got to get in and do some more sorting and stuff in the database. But it's huge. You know, I've got hundreds of songs now. That's like, okay. Well, when would be the appropriate time to play them? Well, I'm going to play one more. I just want to remind everybody that, you know, everything we do here, blah, 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 blah. But more importantly, have an awesome day and all that jazz. And I'm going to play us out on an up-tempo one. Be sure, you know, y'all tell your friends. We need more people watching live. That's what I want. That's what I would like, you know, more people to join us watching this live because, you know, it's cool.
Bristly and gingery, wombat out of the red earth peering gingerly. Was there some thought afoot in the midst and the silence that stiffens whisker and ear and sounds fierce absence? Some smell means snuffling and blinking too thick in the head to know what thumps in your thinking. Rears in the companion, down there where your burrow dips in its yellow shadow. Deep in the
Definitely, Kathy, sending good vibes. Hope everything goes out well with your brother. And I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, a little less melancholy. I got stuff I got to do today. Ah.